The answer is 40 minutes, so there you go. That's the average runtime you're going to get on one fully charged battery. And if you don't like that answer, then you could mow up to 0.333 of an acre on one fully charged battery. So pretty sure that's why you're here and that's why you found me. Now when I say 40 minutes, I really mean 30 minutes, so that's off the record. But for the record, 40-minute runtime. So welcome back and thanks for joining us. And before we go any further, we're not going to go into some deep dive or rabbit hole on battery voltage, voltage drop, amperage draw, all that. It's just a battery powered lawnmower, that's it. No more, no less. That being said, it's on sale right now for $629 at your local Home Depot. We're also going to look back at its predecessor, the gasoline version. Mainly how the lithium-ion battery is slowly phasing out the need for gasoline engines. We're also going to talk about batteries, what to look out for, what to expect, what not to expect. You get it. Also, advertised run times. A lot of these companies like to really church it up or sugarcoat it. They won't say it, it's in really fine print, but sometimes they'll say these are measured under a load or without a load. But most importantly, if you take anything away from this video, please remember batteries have a lifespan. Here's what you get. 60 volts, flex force battery powered system, brushless motor. It's all pretty awesome. And there's a lot of science into it and computers. And the Vortex technology. It's kind of like a supercharger or cold air intake for your lawnmower. Pretty sweet. Got your battery powered lawnmower. One battery is included. 6 amp hour. And for all you nerds out there, you're at 62 volts fully charged. Let's also tackle this while we're here. The battery is, you need a spare battery. You need a backup battery. I don't care if you have a tiny yard or a large yard. You're going to need a backup battery regardless. It's about $350 from the manufacturer. And it takes about 2.5 hours to recharge, which is pretty good compared to some other brands. Also features the Smart Stow system. Pretty neat. You could fold it and lay it up against the wall. Also, personal pace system, much improved. I hated the old way. The old version was terrible. Who knew a slight curve and a bend would make this mucho better and more pleasantly to drive and operate. But since I hate the old version so much, I did have to find one flaw here. Because we are working with a battery powered lawnmower, there's not the same amount of torque you're going to get from a gasoline engine. The average gasoline engine transmission is going to give you about 5 miles per hour. This one, it's fairly slow and it's very noticeable. Let's just say this one gives you about more or less 2. And it also features a push to start button. That's pretty neat, and that's the only way my kids know how to start a car nowadays. If you put a turnstile ignition switch in front of them, they have no idea what to do. It's real. It's also a very good safety feature. If you do have kiddos running around, going places, being in places they're not supposed to be, like dad's garage, they might accidentally start this thing, and you don't want that. So when you're not using it, go ahead and remove that push to start button. It's removable for that reason. And it also tells the kids how to do it right here. Pictures are great, but take it out when you're not using it for safety reasons. Pro tip, when you go to register your lawnmower, because you want to cover that warranty for the battery and the life of the lawnmower itself, they're going to offer you a free side chute. Free side chute. And you're going to say, no, I don't want a free one because there's no doors on the side. If you see here, there's no door on either side, so clearly I don't want a side chute. Well, I'm an idiot. It mounts to the back of the lawnmower. It's absolutely free when you register it. They do this for environmental reasons. It's actually a good cause. They want to save producing plastics, and a lot of people don't use them. Well, congratulations, you made it 4 minutes into the video, so you probably want to see how she cuts and performs. And I purposely overgrew this for quite a while because, I do these videos for viewers like you. So this grass is about 6 inches tall. Like I said, I purposely overgrew it because I wanted to see how she cut in tall grass. And here you go. She didn't like it at all. And I'll show you the evidence here in a second. What you can't hear or see, the brushless motor is constantly revving up and down to keep up the RPMs. And it's drawing down that battery quick when this happens. When that brushless motor eats, your battery depletes. Here's a prime example. So here's the aftermath. As you can see, it didn't mulch very well. It left large rows of clumps. It didn't perform well. And to be honest with you, this is the most, or probably the most dense part of my yard overall. It's super thick back here. It's got plenty of sun and shade, and she just thrives in the backyard. But you can see she didn't cut so well. I just feel like a gas-powered lawnmower wouldn't struggle this bad. Clearly, if it does start to rev up, it does start to drop. The voltage or the amperage, it's going to draw amperage, and the RPMs are going to drop, which makes poor cutting conditions. On the flip side, check this out. This is the front yard. It's gorgeous up here. The grass is much thinner and, doesn't put up as much resistance. And honestly, this is where I fell in love with this lawnmower. It's so quiet. That's the first thing people say, and that's the first thing people notice, is how quiet it is. If you don't believe me, just listen for yourself. There's something to be said about that. After you've been mowing with, a gas powered lawnmower or a small engine for years, you don't realize how loud a combustion engine is. And this is just so quiet and peaceful. If my kids got to get my attention, they could hear them. If my wife has to flag me down, she doesn't have to wave her arms and shout. It's just a different feel, it's a different vibe. Overall, it's very nice, very light, and very peaceful. Like I said, the grass is much thinner. It's a different type of grass. It's probably creeping red fescue or something lighter, but it doesn't grow as tall and thick as it does in the backyard. But listen how loud this is. Good God. You see what I mean? Just gross, just obnoxious. How dare that engine be so loud? Anyways, so one other perk of having a battery-powered lawnmower is there's no longer a crankshaft assembly, so there's little to no vibration whatsoever. As long as your blade is balanced, this thing is no vibration. Crisp and clean. Guys, I hate to say this on film, but man, I secretly like this little cordless lawnmower. She's actually kind of neat. I kind of fallen for her a little bit. The more I used it, the more I liked it. I mean, obviously, the battery situation, the runtime only about 40 minutes, 30 minutes, sucks. And the backup battery is 350, also dent in my pocket. But just in general, man, it's going to get better. I promise you, we're only going to get better. It's only going to get better. Also, if you want to use the batteries the same as your power tools at home, just be caution, be aware, Makita, Milwaukee, Craftsman, DeWalt, Cobalt, Ryobi, they most likely will be compatible, but just if you got to be careful because some of them aren't. I know for a fact there's a couple models out there where your batteries for your power tools will not work with your battery powered lawnmower. Next up, voltage. There's a lot of voltage ratings out there. Do not buy anything less than 40 volts. I'll repeat, do not buy anything less than 40 volts. You're going to have a bad time. Trust me, if you buy anything that's a 20 volt or lower, I don't think anything lower than that, but 20 volt battery or 20 volt lawnmower, and you're like, why does it only last 15 minutes? It's because you played yourself. You bought a tiny little battery, tiny little lawnmower. Also, there are a couple of models out there, brands like Ryobi, where they do offer two batteries, which is awesome. They're both 40 volt batteries, but they do not equal 80 volts, so don't be confused. What it is, it's only going to use one battery at a time, but they do store them together. The reason behind this is basically the operator could swap batteries on the spot. They don't have to go all the way back to the garage to the charger and get another battery. It's actually pretty neat. But just remember, they don't add up. I think except for Milwaukee. I think that one's actually 36. And last pro tip, recharge times. So I was doing some research and saw that the DeWalt takes up to 8 hours to recharge. I thought it was a typo, honestly, but then I started reading the comments and reviews, and sure enough, people were complaining consistently 4 to 8 hours to recharge a battery. Good God. So please do your research before you buy one. Guys, like always, I can't thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, what your opinion is, gas powered, battery powered, whatever, please leave them in the comment section below. And we all know that California and I think Minnesota now is going to be having restrictions on small engines. So this is the future. It's here. It's all battery. So what did we learn today? When the brushless motor eats, the battery depletes. And big or small, one battery won't cover it all.